Welcome back to Füssen in Germany. Very picturesque town in the south of Bavaria. We're in the west side of Füssen for the World Curling Federation Olympic Qualification Event 2013. We're live from the BLZ Arena for draw 3 of the women's qualification. China on 1-0 and Czech Republic 1-1 going head to head here in this third draw. Of course, China have only played one game. There's 7 teams in this competition, so one country does have to sit out each draw, and in this draw it will be Italy who are sitting out, and they'll get the opportunity to have a half-hour practice while these games are going on too on the spare sheet. China very much the favourites this week, and they're led by Yan Zhou, second Jing Xuanyue, third player Yin Liu, and of course the skip Bing Yuang.
Seems happy.
Yeah, relaxed. So here's the Czech Republic team. Veronika Herdova playing lead. Klara Zvatanova playing second. And Tereza Pliskova playing third. And of course, Anna Kubeshkova skipping the Czech Republic team. Let's have a look at the standings after 2 draws. China and Japan both only played one game, but the only 2 teams remaining undefeated. Czech Republic, Germany, Latvia, Norway all on 1-1, and Italy with a lot of work to do already after losing their first 2 games. Elsewhere on the ice, Japan against Norway, Latvia against Germany, and of course a featured game on Sheet C. So that's Anna Kubeshkova holding the brush there for the Czech Republic team. And they will be starting the game. They'll be throwing the yellow stones while China will be wearing the red tops and throwing the red stones. My name's Logan Gray and I'm joined by 1998 Olympic silver medalist Mike Harris. Good evening, Mike.
Good evening, Logan. Nice to see you again. Looking forward to this matchup.
Yeah, we're getting to spend some real quality time together this week.
We are. So we're calling this quality time. I like it. Interesting out there today. All 6 teams in action tonight have 1 win. So not a lot to choose yet between this field. So every game is critical out there tonight. We'll keep an eye on the other 2 sheets as well.
Yeah, and we've already mentioned, Mike, that it is a short round robin. So any loss in this draw, and already teams might find themselves putting under a lot of pressure. So here's Yan Zhou leading the Chinese team out, immediately calling the corner guard. Looks like it'll be a nice offensive start to the game from the Chinese.
I think it's safe to say that this Chinese team is the most aggressive team in this field.
And by far the most experienced as well, Mike.
2009 world champions, 2010 Olympic bronze medalists. And we touched on it a little bit yesterday in that first match, but surprising they're here actually. They seem to have lost their way for a few years, 2 or 3 years there at the World Championships, and failed to really win any points that would have earned them a direct berth into the Olympic Games in Sochi.
This is Veronika Herdova throwing lead stones for the Czech Republic. She's trying to drag this one over the center line. The Supers well managed that. A little bit longer than I would have hoped for, but
over curled a hair too. Certainly accessible. A lot of movement on this ice we've seen already this week, and the high guards are really not much use at all. Teams can get at stones that are behind those guards with quiet tap back weight.
So Yanzhou with the tap back. Didn't see the Chinese team playing last night against the Germans. Mike, was there anything in particular that impressed you about the Chinese?
I was just going to say I liked how their lead Yanzhou played, but she just went through the rings there. So but I think just top to bottom they were quite confident. It was very similar to one of the games we watched this afternoon, where the first half of the game was really dominated by the Chinese. The Germans were lucky to stay in the game, but seemed to hang in, and really they forced China into making their last shot. Under pressure, Wang made a really 2 or 3 really nice shots middle of the game. They could have actually fallen behind in that game.
Yeah, they certainly had to be patient to put away the German side.
Yeah, and Andre is one of those skips you just kind of, it's difficult to put away. Experienced team. We talked about it during our show yesterday. But
yeah, so this is actually only Svatonova's second appearance at senior level. Played the Europeans just a couple of weeks ago, and now straight into this Olympic qualifier. It's the Qing with far, far more experience than her Czech opposition player. Qing Shuangyu has been with the team for the last 9 years, playing with Bing Yuang. And makes a really nice roll behind the guards.
Yeah, no, and so the one thing I've noticed about China, no, not just this year, but over the years, Betty, as we call her, Bing Yuang, when she's confident and aggressive, she's just got great instincts out there. She doesn't make very many bad decisions, and as we saw yesterday, when she was called upon to make a big draw, she did so on 2 or 3 occasions in that game against Germany. So she's familiar with the pressure. She knows how to handle herself in tense situations, and her experience certainly showed yesterday, and we'll see how much of a difference it makes in this game against a much more inexperienced team. It really wasn't a huge advantage against someone like Andrea Schaap, who's played more games internationally than anybody.
Yeah, maybe every other player in this competition put together.
Perhaps, yes.
So a chance here early on for the Chinese. That really well positioned red stone behind the guards. And Czech Republic trying to come around but not managing to get in and lie to. Oh, and a super hit and roll here from the Chinese second. Just covers that inside edge, and that was really the key there for the Chinese.
Right, no hit and roll available for the Czechs, and here's an aggressive call early in this game, a freeze. So the Czechs going all in here in the first end. Difficult shot, and the danger here, of course, you come up a little light, corner freeze are yellow, it's dead. If you throw a little heavy roll off that red stone, it's dead. So it's a big ask in the first end.
Pliskova's found a pretty good line here.
And the weight looks good too. What a fantastic shot. Wow. Wonderful shot. And that stone is going to prove to be problematic for the Chinese.
Yeah, I don't think Betty saw that one coming.
Well judged here. Perfect line. Thank you very much, says the skipper.
So China are going for the freeze. Just going to try and rest on that yellow, and even if they can bump it and just free it up a little bit and leave an angle, that would be ideal. Struggling to get this past the top one though. So
Czechs can't afford to be too aggressive with the situation, however, despite the fact they could play a tap and lie shot stone. There's a couple of reds around, and I think they'd be pretty happy to leave the situation as it is up until Skip's final stones. Allow China to draw the side of the button for 1. Or for 2, excuse me.
I don't think they have too much choice here in this situation. I think they're already committed in the end.
Absolutely. You know, if they had the hammer and had to score, they could perhaps play a straight back on the red that was just thrown, leave themselves shot, but dangerous. No need to take any risks without the hammer. They'd be happy to give China 1 at this point.
Well, this is Teresa Pliskova. Another good draw here.
Yeah, lovely touch.
Just pushes it up a little bit, but doesn't really do any damage. Yeah, Teresa's starting to pick up a fair bit of experience. She's played in 3 Europeans and 1 World Women's, as well as a whole host of junior competitions. Well, an aggressive call here from Ping Wang, trying to come right around everything, I think. Well, they've got a good line here. Well, actually just over curls.
Yeah, it's a pretty good shot though. There's an angle if she so chooses to drive that onto the yellow. Czechs they can't really afford to try to get too aggressive here.
Yeah, I think they want to move that red. Don't want to leave it there to be driven in by the Chinese.
Stay. Привет.
So Anna just trying to make a takeout on the inside of this red. She could ever just roll over a fraction. That's pretty good there.
Very good.
Nice to see lots of stones in play in the first end here, Mick.
It is. So Wang has asked for the hit here. I didn't see whether she wanted to roll inside or outside, but she can't really afford to roll too far to the left as we're looking at it. Dangerous, perhaps could clip her own red out of the way. If she felt a little aggressive, would be a good opportunity to try to get her deuce if she wanted to do so, but again, staying 1 point ahead here early. She's probably just as happy to get her point here as well. Trying to roll under, looks like. And that's fine. So the only shot available right now for Wang is to tap that red stone to the forefoot for 1. Czechs will likely want to guard that red stone.
Můžu to dát mezi, no.
Let's talk about it. It's hard to get the guard in that position with the intern. They got to go so wide. But it is the one they've played all in.
Může být.
Ten červený, no. Tak jako 2 asi nejvíc. Je dát jenom. No. Přemýšlím, kolik dát, tak 3,5. No, 3,5 asi bude fajn. No, 3,5.
Hodně místa. Čekej chvíli.
Tak 3.
Čekej.
2, 3, 2. 2.
Yep. Whoa. Yeah.
Looking pretty good for the guard here. It's going to sit right in front of that red stone.
Perfect.
So what does Betty have here for her last stone?
She's got to play a double tap, I think. Yellow, red to the side of the forefoot. Not much else available.
Certainly would be pretty tough to come right around the outside of everything.
That's the call, though. Has to just get by a red, and it may still not curl enough to get shot stone. There's a good look at it. It has to just get by her red at the top 12 foot and curl completely into the forefoot. Not sure that's even possible.
Well, this is one of those ones that you just need to take maximum ice. Hopefully you get the weight right and really sweep it down at the end to try and get the most amount of curl possible. So Betty Wang with the final stone of the first end. Betty's actually played in the last 9 World Women's Championships and has a gold, a silver and a bronze to her name.
Well, the weight's in the ballpark, but it's not going to curl enough. Hard pressed to score 2 there, but it's a single point for Team China.
1 end played here, and it's China 1, Czech Republic 0.
这是14秒。
再给点劲儿好了。还行，力量控制打的都挺好的，然后还是。
Well, we're not at the Big Apple, the local nightclub here in Füssen. We're actually in the BLZ arena. Some lovely disco balls over the center of the pad here, the BLZ. I don't think Richard Harding positioned them there.
He may have put them up, we're not sure.
Anyway, we saw some glittering freezes from the Czech Republic in the first end.
Oh, nice segue. That was a tough one. That was,
you like that one?
That was impressive.
Yeah, please come up playing 2 great freezes to make it really difficult for China, the 2009 world champions, to score multiple points in the first end. And looks like it's going to be an offensive game with lots of stones in play. So Latvia, Germany on sheet B. Here's the veteran Andrea Schub.
It's a draw against a couple, I think.
Andrea getting a win on the board this afternoon against the Czech team in our featured game. And needs to find a piece of the floor, actually facing 3 red counters. And this one needs to do a lot of slowing down.
Had some backing there, but it ends up being a steal of 2. Andrea looks a little perplexed. Her weight actually wasn't that bad. I think she probably anticipated curling a little more to the face of that back stone. And a good start for Latvia.
So Czech Republic are going to play a takeout here on sheet C. Trying to come around the center guard. Well played there by Herdova. Well, just rolls a little bit too far, and perhaps a chance here for Czech Republic to bring that corner guard into play now.
Co na druhou? Ne? Vzhledu do střed. Kolik to bylo? 9:10.
That's on the guard.
Oh, big mistake there from Zvatonova. Peels off the center guard. Well, important for China when throwing the guard here to make sure if they're not going to make it absolutely perfect, they are on the correct side and cover the corner guard side of that red stone in the house. We saw the Japanese men's team getting caught out with this yesterday, and it led to them losing a score of 3 against Korea.
Well, it's difficult on swingy ice to throw perfect guards, as we discussed on some of our previous shows as well. You have to be very precise with how deep this is coming, and you need a lot of communication between the sweepers and the person holding the broom. And there's that mistake you mentioned, Logan. It's over curling, and the hit and roll is available behind the yellow corner guard.
Well, that one does over curl and exposes the corner guard side of the red. So a chance here for Svitonova.
Better throw here.
Certainly a slightly higher standard than we saw in the first couple of events this afternoon, Mike.
Definitely, you know, and again, just reflecting a little bit on that game this afternoon with between the Italians and the Japanese, and a very young, inexperienced Italian team, in contrast to the most experienced team here in this field with the Chinese. Lovely roll there. Chinese third, Yin Liu. Played a really solid game yesterday as well.
Well, Pliskova making a nice start to this game. Sticks around in the wing. Again, important to stick around there. You don't want to give your opposition a free chance to come around one of these guards.
It's technically really sound, all 4 players on Team China. As are the Czechs as well. I think that's on. China will be forced to hit and roll in. As you mentioned, important for Wang to roll into the rings here and not allow Kubeskova a free come around. Free attempt at a come around one of those guards.
Would it be too aggressive at this point, Mike, of the Czech Republic's team just to ignore this stone in the wing and come around one of the guards?
To go anyway, even if Wang rolls in. No, I think it's depending how you feel. You know, it's one of those. It's a team choice, I'd say. I'd have a discussion with my third for a moment, say, what do you think of this? But she does get the free opportunity. Let's go over to sheet A.
Yes, Japan and Norway.
It's a live shot.
Japan didn't play yesterday. They played their first game this afternoon and scraped a win against a really
persistent Italian team.
Yeah, let's say persistent Italian team. Norway chalked up their first win this afternoon as well, defeating the Czech team in our feature game. Here's Mariana Rurvik throwing final stones for Norway. And she's heading against a couple of red Japanese counters. And she's got quite a nice weight here. Will it come down enough? Right onto the beak. And it's a score of 1 for Norway in the second end. And they're off to a lead against Japan. Norway 1, Japan 0.
And the lefty, Anna Kubeskova, with the in-turn come-around attempt here against China. Great opportunity here to score 2. Well by the guard, however. And the problem with that zone, the fact that it's open is one thing, but if Wang can ever roll towards the button, there's really cuts down the scoring area for this young Czech skip. Tough shot to get inside, though. Tough to roll buried. You look at the front-on angle. It's about edge to edge, I'd say. So only with very quiet takeout weight can Wang roll towards the center line.
So a chance here. Wang just looked like she set that a little bit.
The weight's quiet though, it'll save her. Nice touch.
Well, doesn't manage to make the roll either way. looks like Anna Kubeshkova is going to have a chance to blank here in the second end.
这球不犹豫好，再稍微要擦，
对，再稍微早点擦
擦
才好了，因为出来不就感觉就大了。
Pretty think so?
As we're calling this game, Logan, I'm getting messages on Twitter and Facebook from people all over the place. Just got one from the Bahamas.
Wow.
Got people watching in the Caribbean.
Welcome to the show, guys.
Exactly.
Wonder when we'll see the Bahamas in the Olympic qualifiers.
Might move there. I think it might be a good call. You want to go?
Yeah, I'll go with you. Here's Anna Kubeshkova with the final stone of the second end.
And that blank attempt is missed, so although they scored a point, I think a moral victory to China here in the second end. The game's tied 1-1.
Yeah, sorry.
其实挺好，然后咱们还是现在打一打后手，然后注意点力量控制，注意点出手就行。好，还是确实抓一抓他前两个垒。
So if you've just joined us, welcome to the World Curling Federation Olympic qualifiers here in the BLZ Arena. Our featured game on Sheet C is between China and the Czech Republic here in the third round of the women's competition. My name's Logan Gray, and alongside me, Mike Harris once again. And an intriguing start to the game, Mike.
Yeah, it's been well played, opening two ends here. As you mentioned, nice. Nice is the right word, but it's certainly a step up from what the first 2-3 ends were of our afternoon matchup. Teams have a better handle on the ice, it appears. A lot more shots being made. Over curled slightly, but the redstone stays in the rings. We can go over and update Sheet B again, Germany, Latvia.
And here she is, Andrea Schopp, the home nation favourite, already trailing by 2 after a big mistake in the first end. And she's really cranking up the decibels on this one.
I think she wanted them to sweep. Excellent shot, well done for a deuce.
Yeah, tie game there after 2 ends. Super shot by Andrea Schopp. And the two teams on 1 win and 1 loss, tied after 2 ends.
So quiet weight tap back, probably board weight or so being asked for here. Get rid of the 1 yellow stone, roll the shooter. This needs to curl a long way.
Well, it's certainly trying.
This could be trouble. It is trouble. The only good news, only bright spot is that redstone gets kicked into the rings. So The Czechs are going to be forced to make a play on it. Fortunate for China, otherwise a guard could go up and protect that stone on the button. Trying to sweep this by now. They're afraid of chipping that red stone onto their own. A bad throw there from the Czechs. And all of a sudden, China a chance to lie too. They see them sweeping this. If that had actually made contact with the red stone, would have driven it over towards their own stone in the house. Heads up sweeping call from the Czech skip, but she certainly won't be happy with the result.
Well, an unexpected opportunity here for China to get in there and lie two with the last stone here in the third end.
Rychlost fajně, že? 9-3.
Well, this looks a little errant at the moment. Is it coming back enough?
Trying to make this double across the top now. I didn't need to sweep that actually, but
I think maybe with being a more controlled way, they were just making sure they got rid of one there.
Fair enough.
So a little bit wild there by the Czech second, and
a couple of poor hits.
And Betty's just going to ask for the rings to be split here. Well, sweepers are really going to have to work hard in this one to get it down there.
All four of them in there. Well swept.
See, skips can't sweep. Well, Czech Republic are probably going to have to find a hidden roll behind this centre guard to get themselves out of trouble here.
Gotta go to make contact here. Oh my. Oh my, oh my.
Oh my. I don't even think that shot was possible.
Chance to split the rings and lie three now here for Team China.
Yeah, they'll probably try and go a little bit deeper than their previous draw, try and go past it. Still stay open though.
I like how the skipper just jumps right in there, right? Takes the rock and...
yeah, it takes all the credit as well. That's what skips do, Mike.
Some do, some do. I wouldn't. My team would elbow me out of the way if I tried that move. Double available here for the Czechs, however. Hit those two in the pocket. There's a little better effort.
kratší, takže jsem chtěla hlavně, aby jsme brali víc tam. Máš si černý na nos. Můžu to sundat?
Well, this is the second shot stone, but China still choosing to remove it. Could well leave a crosshouse double here.
Good shot, maintaining good separation. Good 10 feet apart, those two stones.
Well, this is actually quite a nice one for Anna Kubeskova. She did want to throw a bit of weight at this one. She's got a couple of options. She can roll behind the center, and if she hits it a little bit too thin, she can roll right over to the other red.
Need to throw this with some speed, though, to do either one of those. Got a lot of ice for, I think, the amount of weight she needs to throw to make the roll.
Certainly give that a little bit of hot sauce at the end. Well, hits it on the beak.
Yesterday we saw Wang comfortably make a lot of draws, so she's ignoring that stone, having a chance to draw on line 2. Easier shot.
Yeah, and it's only really that key miss from Pliskova with her first stone here in the third end that's made the difference and created this opening for China.
还按14秒吧，13秒50。还按14秒就行，感觉，但是它可能路径确实稍微长一点，然后你们看看提前擦一点。
铁线很好，八区。快点，确保进去啊，线路 OK。8、5、6。 用不用我上？不用，8区啊。
Well, I think the Supers have got this one completely under control. Getting it past the T line and
just
no double
perfect.
takeout there.
Yeah, just perfect.
这个出门就搂还能好点吗？出门就搂吧。我刚才给你那个比红边还往外一点呢。
Well, Kubeskova playing 100% so far.
Well, they gave her 100% of her blank attempt. I'd go 87.5 at best. That blank attempt was a nose hit, so might have been 4 out of 4 on the board, but it was a miss.
Well, she won't be trying to hit and roll out this time. Trying to find a hit and roll in behind the center cover here. This looks like it's going to come right in onto the nose.
May roll out, so that'll give Wang a draw for 2. And she'll take the same ice, throw the same draw. I think conventional wisdom, I think, Logan, especially late in games, is always draw towards the center. But, you know, early in a game, second, third end, it's good sound advice to young skips to take a path you know. And you have the chances of you making the shot, although it's slightly more difficult to go to the wings than it is into the center in theory. You know the weight, the sweepers are comfortable. It's a good decision from an experienced skip. Sweepers on it right away.
Yeah, I think this, by throwing this path, it's as much for the sweepers as the thrower. They'll feel completely confident in what they need to see to make this shot.
Perfect.
They drop it right into the same spot as the previous draw. Score of 2 in the third end, and China creating some daylight between them and the Czech Republic, now leading by 3 shots to 1.
还是注意点量控制，然后击打注意点出手，那面击打的时候相对直一点。
So underway in the 4th end. And Joe struggling a little bit so far in this game. Again, just drifting past the T-line. Not really what you're looking for when you're leading the game. You want to keep your stones in front of the T-line and force your opposition to move them at some point. Well, Czech Republic, they're going to throw a corner guard. And this is Veronica Herdova. Okay, so comes down into a pretty good spot. Genjo playing 69% for the tournament so far.
I said I thought the scoring was a little hard on her yesterday. You know, it was as a lead. She played, I thought, a really solid game. Kept her stones in front of the T line in the rings, and then kept throwing guards. It certainly didn't hurt her team at all. But a couple of average shots there at best, back 8 foot and behind the T line.
Herdova playing 79%.
Nice double. Nice simple end here for the Czechs with last rock.
Okay.
One corner guard and one rock in the ring, so a nice hit and roll here is available. Update for on sheet B.
A little bit of a rocky delivery there from Iveta Stasisarsunet. Tied game. Tied record as well.
They're trying to blank there and end up nose hitting.
Yeah, interesting to see them trying to go the long way on that one.
I said, when I worked with this team last year, came to see me for a good week before the Women's Worlds in their hometown of Riga. And again, really good hitting team, good drawing team. And Iveta herself struggles a little bit with the hits, but can draw with the best of them.
Jing Shuangyue playing 79%. Well, this one's got a lot of moving to do just to make contact.
Eventually moves enough.
Well, now the corner guard's wide open for the Czech Republic to come around and try and get a deuce back here.
No takhle nevím, ale takový to je z 14, tak zkus 3-8, to by tam mělo zůstat.
Well, it looks like this one might go past the tee line, but it's quite a nice line and tucks that just about fully behind the guard.
Good shot.
Meanwhile, on sheet 8, here's Norway and Japan actually drawing to score 4. They weren't the most clinical this afternoon against the Italians. Certainly had a lot of chances, but already lying 3 here in the third end.
Well, you know, it was one of those games where it would have been a shame for them to lose, but they hung in so well. And finally getting rewarded, it looks like, for continued solid play. Nice draw for 4 points there and take early command in that game against Norway. I was actually really impressed with the Japanese team this afternoon when, although they struggled to close the deal.
Yeah, they certainly made a lot of shots.
They sure did.
They just missed a couple of the key ones, and looks like they're going to be a bit more clinical this evening. Off to a great start against the Norwegians. This is Teresa Pliskova. After what we missed was a super freeze by the Chinese team. The hardest shot curling. My apologies, made the freeze, didn't miss it.
It's hard for us to pay attention to both screens at once, Logan. We get that. It's good. Yeah, and Yin Liu has said she played a solid game yesterday in their opening match.
Well, leaves the center guard, and the end all of a sudden looking a little bit brighter for China once again.
Yeah, still a chance here for the Czechs to make a decent freeze and maybe figure out a way to score 2. Going to require proper angle here on this freeze from Pliskova.
Pliskova playing 67 for the 1 game so far. Trying to come down in just a quiet way and hit this one on the beak.
It's over curling a little, but leaves both her yellows in play, so a little bit of added pressure here for Team China. A brave call here is to go around the center. And the conservative call will be to play the guard. But, you know, Wang, again, being an experienced skip, she knows sometimes you just need to make the shot. And this is the call. It's a proper call. She has to be careful that this rock does not slip behind the tee line, leave a double.
7区好像也可以，别8区就行，8区可能有双飞的球，14秒，14秒。
Bing Wang playing 73%. for the tournament. This is a bold call, but she makes it well, then it's definitely the right one.
Got to go for weight here. Line's great. Need the 8-foot. Need to get this to the 8-foot.
That's a great scrub by the Chinese.
Fantastic sweeping. Fantastic sweeping. Sorry, nice shot. I caught that one. That's perfect. Hard work from the front end.
Yeah, Mike, who says sweeping isn't important?
Oh, it's extremely important, and the fitness level of these athletes now is it's a full-time job for these aspiring Olympians. If you're not doing the work in the gym, you're being left behind these days. Curling has changed a lot in the 16 years since I was there. Stretching was about 5 minutes before the game, and you'd go out and take a few practice slides, and off you went. No longer. So a draw being called for here. Playing the wide out turn for the lefty. Trying to get this into the back of the forefoot, get it buried. Another brave call. Difficult shot. Easier shot actually is just to play the freeze down on that red stone in the corner. She could still get shot stone. Much simpler shot.
Well, she's got quite a nice line here. Really throwing it up the hill, but it's coming down hard now.
Line's fantastic. Will he get by the next one?
Wow, there's a lot of curl there.
Just went sideways. Got by the tight center guard and wrecked on the one at the top 8-foot. Surprising. And disappointing for the Czech skip. So Wang's playing the in-turn tap back here. If she can ever stay right in that area, she's going to really force a difficult shot from the Czech skip. Let's go over to sheet B.
Yeah, this is Andrea once again. Final stone of the fourth end. Seems pretty happy with this. There's not too much yelling going on. Bangs it right on the beak. Not a big fan of the control weight, Andrea.
No,
makes that one beautifully.
Straight draw or full weight hit is not much in between there, but does the trick.
Yeah, it's a score of 2 for Germany and a 4-3 lead over Latvia after 4 ends.
This is wide. This needs to curl a long way. If her weight's quiet enough, it'll be okay.
Seems to be a lot of swing in that spot to get down there.
Lovely shot. And will lie only 2, it looks like. So
a bit of a look of despair on your face there, Mike. Talk to me.
Well, I'm kind of waving my arms at you, Logan, just in disbelief as to this call from the Czech skip. She just threw perfect T-line weight in a spot to draw the forefoot on the other side of the sheet, and now she's changed turns. That red stone at the top 8-foot has actually moved more into her path. She doesn't know the weight out here. This is a very, very inexperienced decision. She should just play again. We talked about it on Wang's last draw on the third end. Play the shot you know. Why would she change turns here? It makes no sense.
Well, we'll see if it works out anyway. Just needs to be almost touching 4 here to score.
You're not sure what the speed is out here. That's the problem.
Will this rear up in time?
And that is why you don't change turns right there. She probably threw similar weight, and a big steal of 2 for Team China here in the 4th end.
Yeah, and a miss from Kubeshkova cracks this one wide open. China now leading the Czech Republic by 5 shots to 1 after 4 ends.
还是这么打，因为他前2个垒次吧，成功率不是特别高。咱看咱的球的位置，尽量给他施加点压力。然后完了，你看咱现在就是开放性边区，他不打的话，咱一个球再给他发射。
Well, back-to-back deuces for China in the 3rd and 4th end, cracking this game wide open. China leading the Czech Republic by 5 shots to 1. And Mike, you're still shaking your head in disbelief.
Well, I don't like seeing mental mistakes, you know, and that's there was no reason to change turns there for the Czech skip, and I'm sure Dan Raphael, who's kind of mentors both the men's and women's teams down there, will bring this up in a meeting after the game with this. The Czech team, but again, a golden opportunity. It wasn't a golden opportunity, it was a difficult draw to the forefoot, but she made it more difficult by changing turns. Not to say she would have made it with throwing the other turn either, but you have to give yourself every opportunity to make a shot. And you know, anytime you're changing spots, changing the shot for no apparent reason, it just adds to the degree of difficulty.
So here's Japan after scoring 4 in the 3rd end. Mariana Rurvik with a golden opportunity here.
It looks like a double for 3, is it?
Certainly a chance to chalk up a few. Mariana Rurvik with the big weight takeout. Makes it absolutely perfect, squeezes it just far enough and put 3 on the board for Norway. Tied game after 4 ends. Giving up 4 in the 3rd, taking 3 back in the 4th. That looks like an exciting game.
Yeah, never a dull moment to game.
So here's Herdova playing a takeout in the forefoot. Oh, it makes a super roll behind the corner here. Yeah. Great shot by the Czech lead.
Wang up 5-1 will waste no time. She'll go peel the corner and try to force the Czechs into maintaining the deuce. No rollouts or no missed guards. Oh, there's a break. Left this guard. Czechs now with a chance.
Well, we've seen a lot of curl on this side of the sheet, perhaps a little bit more than the other. It's really coming down hard here. Not a great deal of handle on it as it comes to a stop. So
yeah, it actually came open on the intern side for Team China. There's a slash double there available.
挡满力量来就行。
Yeah, I actually find it's a reasonably good spot.
行，好。
I would have liked it fully behind the guard. So they're just playing a controlled way into this one. This looks pretty close. Super shot.
Great shot.
Oh my, oh my.
I like it.
啊，好，单打一个没挑，弥补了。
Well, there's still a guard in play though for the Czech Republic. And they can keep the pressure on China here with a good draw. The supers are really going to have to push hard on this one to get it down there.
Just got really wide there halfway down the sheet. And this will come up short, and this will change momentum here in this fifth end. Wang will change gears. She's going to play an aggressive draw here. So get down to third stones. Perfect line. Needs to be in front of the tee line. We've talked about this several times the last couple shows, and that is perfect. One rock short of the tee line, dead buried. Really cuts down the scoring area here for the Czechs.
还行，多少线？
谢谢。
Pliskova with the in-turn freeze attempt. Much wider line here than the Chinese had. So you're well by the guard. Be hard pressed to curl over to the face of this red stone. Does get shot stone, but it will be partially exposed.
Well, shake of the head there from Pliskova.
Great shot. She knows.
后半程就下去了啊。
Makes a nice hit and roll to the wing.
Two beauties there from Yin Liu. Perfect come around, nice hit and roll. And wisely rolling away. They don't want to hit that on the nose and leave a freeze attempt for the Czechs. The skipper tightened up the ice here. Anna Gubeskova has given Pliskova less ice for this come around, so hopefully it'll curl a bit more and get more hit in. The line is better.
Well, Pliskova's definitely had her weight well in the first half of this game, made some terrific freezes even in the first end.
Just fractionally light here. Had to just keep that a little straighter, and now the Czechs are hard pressed to score. Chinese can play a guard here on that in-turn side. There is a little run back available. That yellow guard on the right-hand side could possibly be sent back for a deuce if nothing changes as this end goes on. But I think initially you're going to see Wang throw a guard on the center line side.
So fifth end, Latvia, Germany, Germany leading by 4 shots to 3 after a deuce in the 4th end. And here's Iveta Stasas-Arsuna playing final stones for the Latvians.
Open hit. Just see as she releases those hits, she's a little tentative with them as she lets them go. She stands up right away, but success there. In the 5th, they get their deuce and they take a lead into the break. Yep. Up 5-4.
Well, Ping Yuang just still mulling this one over in the hack with her sweepers. I think maybe they're just trying to throw a guard, but this one's running really wide at the moment.
Hurry!
Okay.
Kind of in no man's land there. That was wanted to have that curl a little bit more.
Oh, I wonder if Czech Republic might fancy this run back that you suggested, Mike.
Well, the reward is great. I mean, they would lie 2 buried. The outturn lightweight tap back is also available through the port. That guard of Wang's did not curl enough. There's definitely a hole there between them.
Ever be an option to come right around the outside of that red guard and left, Mike?
It looks like it'll just come open onto the right through the port. I think I actually I'm leaning towards the run back, as you mentioned. I think that is the shot that can actually, you could actually score 3 if you make it on your first one. Just make it perfect and stick it, lie 2 buried behind those 2 red guards and take your chances. But the risk is high, but this is no bargain either. Coming through the port.
I just wonder if they're trying to freeze here, or maybe set up some angles to play a raise with the next one. I think they could play a freeze with this one and then make the run back even easier for them the next time to get multiple score. But
well,
of course,
the danger, of course, is that China will play the in-turn drawn lie 2.
So, Kabeshkova, a couple of indifferent draws in the last end. Looking a little bit hot here again. Will this touch the guard?
Ooh, just missed the sweeping, actually. If they'd swept that, they might have, we saw that happen yesterday. Got a good break, but
that one's going to drift right on through the house.
So if you're China here, you have to, weigh your decisions. There's they could throw the guard, same spot, but that would really force the Czechs into playing an angle raise for 2. So they just swept it a hair and rubbed the guard. They could have redirected onto shot stone and perhaps lied 2, but you almost have to do that by mistake. So Wang's considering throwing a guard, but again, what will your opponent play? That's the question. The guard is thrown in the center. The yellow run back is there for 2 points.
比刚才那个点稍微小一点儿。
刚才这个点，刚才这个点。
行。
Looks like she's going to throw the guard with that ice.
啊，行，主要就是站上，把中线那块站上点就行呗，是不是
？Block the port.
要是点小一点，那个球一颗就。
And I think you'll see the Czechs forced to play that run back on the yellow stone for 2, or go wide on the draw. But that's not worked so very well for them so far.
这点带稍微小一点儿。
A little less ice there from Betty. Ping Yuang. Just so technically sound, very soft, gentle release. No tension at all.
最好别磕，
下来了，
最好别磕，或者磕也磕得薄一点。
Set burst onto the
下一
scene
点
再下
了
一点点。
8 or 9 years ago and
好球。
improved very quickly.
Well, comes up with the guard, and yeah, I'm not sure about that call, Mike. I agree, it really forces Czech Republic to play that run back now for 2.
Yeah, there's no option really, is there? You know, for the Czechs. So quite often, if you leave your opponent 2 choices, when indecision is in their mind, they're less likely to make either shot. So you know, quite often when you leave them only 1 decision, their focus sharpens a little bit, and they're more likely to make the shot you force them to play. But they need to play this, make contact just off center, just to the outside, and drive it back onto their own yellow, and a chance to score 2. Difficult as it might be, it is an opportunity.
So here it is, final stone of the 5th end. Anna Kubeshkova. Seen a lot of curl on this side of the sheet. And once again, this one's gone. Well, it's straight up off the guard.
Will they paper it almost again, but
it's going to be a steal of 1 here in the 5th end.
yeah, China has dominated the first half of this game.
Yeah, and unlike this afternoon, the scoreboard really reflecting that dominance. And after 5 ends, it's going to be China 6, Czech Republic 1.
So here we are, China versus the Czechs. This was a blank attempt here in the 2nd end after a successful force of the 1st, and Czech skip Kubeskova misses her last shot and gives up hammer into 3, and that proved to be a momentum shift, as China played a very solid 3rd end, leaving the 2009 world champion with a simple draw to the 8-foot for her 2 points to take command of this game early. Gave her a 3-1 lead through 3. In the 4th end, after a close attempt on an out-turn draw for the Czech skip, she switched turns here to draw against 2 with not much change in the situation, and this change of turn proved to be costly. Got into a different patch of ice, different speed out there, and a critical steal of 2 points in the 4th end. And there was a 5-1 lead. China stole another in the 5th, and after 5 ends, 6-1 advantage. In our other matchups, blank in the 5th end, Japan-Norway tied at 4 as they enter the break. And Latvia with the deuce in the 5th end to take a 1-point lead in the break there. And they've both those games just started the 6th end.
Some really nice hammers on those graphics as well.
I like those, yes.
New addition today.
You take away the one that you think is the easiest.
Here Marcel Rock just talking to the Chinese team about their options there in the last end. When you have 2 shots for 2, you take away the one that's easiest, and I think he was saying the run back was easier.
I don't think you guys talked through that shot enough here.
And conversely, the Czechs are having a snack down here. Karol Kubeska there, and Dan Raphael with the hat on.
Yeah, Karol is Anna Kubeshkova's father, actually. I wonder if Dan Raphael agrees with what Karel's saying right now. Of course, I'm not too sure how strong Dan's Czech is.
Well, he was, and again, going back, interesting relationship, interesting dynamic here. He coached Team China for a number of years, including that World Championship performance and the Olympic bronze medal performance. So he's very, very familiar with Team Wang. And percentages through 5 ends, very high for the Chinese. 81 as a team, which is fantastic, and conversely 69% for the Czechs. And that is reflected on the scoreboard. As you mentioned, Logan, in our afternoon matchup, there was a 30% differential between the two teams, and the score was tied. So China being rewarded for their strong play. And interesting, the flags of the two nations that are featured are beside each other. I think they're in alphabetical order, actually, so that worked out well. Just doing the alphabet here as I'm looking at the flags up above us. 6-1 China. And there's Finland beside. So CCF, France. There we go. Yeah, I'm on it. France, Finland, Germany, Italy.
It would be the fair way to do it.
Would be, yes. You could forgive the Germans for putting their own first, but being in Füssen and all, but...
The Paris of Germany.
It's lovely here, actually. It's beautiful.
So welcome back to the World Curling Federation qualifying event for the Olympics 2013, live from the BLZ Arena in Füssen, Germany. My name's Logan Gray, and alongside me Mike Harris for this third draw of the women's event, China and the Czech Republic. Both teams on 1 win so far, but China looking good for a second one, Mike.
So far, but this is exactly what we saw from the first game against Germany. They dominated the first half of that game. They were up 5-1 through 5, and they were ended up 6-6 coming home. So I'm sure Wang will want a second half performance that would be improved upon from what we saw in that first matchup. They really struggled at, actually, it's a combination of two things. They struggled a little bit, and Germany picked up their game quite a bit in that opening matchup on the women's draw.
So Mike, unfortunately we couldn't get any help from Karel and Dan Raphael at halftime when we were speaking to the Czech Republic team. What advice would you be giving this Czech team at halftime?
Well, they need to take some risks, right, at this point of the game. They're down 5 points to a very strong team. Not that there's been lack of rocks in play either. I mean, the Czechs team, they did have an opportunity for 2 points there in the last end. Although it was difficult, I thought they played a very solid first end when they started really playing a lot of freezes and you know, held China to a kind of a happy single point. But no, there's not a lot of choice here. They have to leave some rocks in play, take some chances. Germany got rewarded right away in the 6th end of their game against China yesterday. They got 3 right away to start the second half of the game. And conversely, Wang will not want to let that happen. We heard the advice Marcel Rock gave yesterday to Team China was, if you get a chance to put some pressure on, let's do that. I don't think he would have said the same thing today. You know, I think that advice may have cost them some points early in that second half of that game.
Well,
but you do need to be precise with your tap backs, and that's not bad. Created a little pocket there within the reds, and you've seen Wang. She's got two options: you go peel the corner guard, or she can peel the one in the rings. Just peel it out.
Yeah, that was actually quite a nice shot there by the Czech lead, pushing those red stones together and creating a nice pocket for a freeze at some point. Here's Ching Shuang Yue playing 83% for the game.
Needs to get off the center line to make contact. Took its time, but eventually got there.
Oh, looks like they're playing a takeout here. Trying to head and roll on top, and sometimes it's worth taking a little bit of extra risk just to make the shot a little bit easier. The freeze would be a much easier shot into that pocket than trying to make a perfect hit and roll on top.
And the reward's greater. You know, if you put a freeze in the pocket, China is now under pressure. Little hit and roll in front, also good, but the way this Chinese team's able to hit, so almost a perfect shot there with the roll frozen, but China can easily remove that yellow stone. And China's gonna, I like this call, they're gonna appeal the corner guard, and once the Czechs make a play on shot stone here, the two yellows in the house will be close together in a potential double. So the other choice, of course, for China would be to double the rocks out of the rings and leave the Czechs a free come around this corner guard. So I like this update, or excuse me, this shot here. So our producers said the word update in my ear there as we're going. So we're gonna update sheet B. There we are.
Yeah,
you think these magically appear, but we get talked to from the truck, and this is a blank attempt here by Andrea Schopp in the 6th end.
Yeah, it looked like it might have just caught a finger in the way out of her hand there.
And a miss as a result, and a big steal for Latvia in the 6th end. Disappointing result. Just shows I'm easily distracted there, Logan. You know, somebody's talking to my ear. And
well, I believe.
Gotta keep it simple with me.
Well, I'm told that men aren't good at multitasking. I don't believe it. This is Yilu playing 93%. Super shooting by Chinese third.
Yeah, she's been solid.
I think she was a star player yesterday as well.
She was, yeah. I know she's, again, all four players are you know, as good at their position as any other here in the field. So that's, you know, talk about experience, but they're also very talented, this Chinese team. Very solid players. So it looks like the Czechs are kind of making a little move here on these rocks in the rings. Just going to draw. Just draw into the rings. Key here for the Czechs is to lie third shot. Talked briefly about a corner freeze on the top one, but I think they want to bring this into the rings. Sit second and third shot at worst case.
Well, just about gets that one far enough.
That's a pretty good shot, actually.
先把那个打掉，打定就行。没有，看一下你打定的话有没有想那个球。你要打太后按双飞的话，可能是这个，哈。
但是都打定的话，
按正常击打来，正常击打。OK。
I don't think we'll see anything too heroic here for the Chinese. They could roll into their red stone just to change the angles a little bit. Maybe make a takeout on the other yellow a little bit easier, but just rolls over alongside that yellow stone on the center line.
Still a good situation here for the Czechs. That stone frozen, stayed there almost this entire end. Both teams hesitant to make a move on it. The key here for the Czechs is they do need to save their shooter. This rolls out and all of a sudden the opportunity for 2 points will be gone. Oh, really well done. Rolls partially under cover.
Well, here's another one of those updates. Mike, throwing your attention off.
I was better that time.
4 each after 5 ends. And
live update this is. This looks like it's a hit for 2.
So the very, very rocky slide there from Ayumi Ogasawara. Do they need to make the double?
Don't think they need it. That'll be a deuce for Japan. High five.
Yeah, and after 6 ends, it's Japan 6, Norway 4.
On our sheet, wonderful roll there from the Czechs. Got to hit this on the outside. They're saying control. They got to throw enough weight to make sure they kill the yellow. Well done. So is now the time. I think if you're the Czechs, you need to make a move now. And they're trying not to leave some sort of double for Bingyu Wang. So very patient end from both teams, leaving that situation on the center line. And now I like the thought. They looked at playing the draw.
What would the risk be here, like in throwing the
well,
if
you've played the draw and you leave it in a position where Wang can follow you down and play a freeze and get second shot, you're never going to get 2 points. So if you're going to play the draw, you really have to commit to going wide with it and be brave enough to think that Wang will either guard or try to draw in and lie too. And the reward is you might get 3 points. So interesting call here. I like the call. I mean, I think it's an aggressive call, but not a lot Wang can do on the center line situation that is good for them. And it looked like she called the draw. Now she's gone back to the hit. So the danger here, no matter where she rolls, she's going to leave an angle for Wang for a double. So what she wants to do here, ideally, is roll as far away as possible without rolling out, or rolling out for third shot. So she wants to roll good 4 feet away. It's well thought out. I don't mind either call, but it'll come down to execution. Just has to make the shot she's calling.
Yeah. Well, maybe though just a little bit more risk needing to be taken by the Czechs when they're trailing by 6 shots to 1.
Yeah, they're down. As you mentioned, down 5 points, but this is pretty close to the nose already. So we'll see where the angles settle, and that's about as bad as they could have left it. Simple nose hit for Wang for the double. I say simple, still has to make it, but that was always the danger of making a move on the centerline stones. You leave those two stones close together. In turn. Give me a little less ice. That's my best Chinese translation there.
Yep, bit less ice. I'm going to send down the heater.
She can throw it hard. Little spring release. There we go. Little extension.
This one's over curling. And again,
shouldn't have taken the less ice. Yeah.
Missing on the inside on that side of the sheet. Everything just curling a little bit more.
Yeah, just should have left the broom where it was, and that's what she'll come down and say. Have that conversation. A nice, reasonably simple draw here for Czech skip. She can go right to the face of her own and glide two. Threw the shot in the fourth end, so she knows the speed here now. The one she threw in the fourth end, however, did not curl nearly as much as she just curled, but she was heavy. Line's fine though. Sweeper's on this.
Yeah, well, they can't hurt her. They can sweep it right down onto this yellow stone. And looks like they're going to drag this one down into the 8-foot, even into the 4. That's a score of 2 for the Czech Republic. A well-worked end to get the deuce, but still a lot of work to do here. 6 ends played, and it's China 6, Czech Republic 3.
Myslím, že 4 něco určitě jako, to jezdí pěkně.
Back on sheet C. So China with the hammer here in 7. Can really put a stranglehold on this game. They can score multiple points, and the Czechs conversely needed to throw a guard there, and this first one slips into the rings.
Czech Republic need to make sure that they're keeping their guards outside of the house, providing the 3 guard zone rules in play.
Definitely.
Just have no chance of getting back into this game if they're going to not use the 3 guard zone.
Will it get over? Well swept. But hard to use that guard, being so high. So Veronica Rodova thanking her sweepers as she comes down. Sorry team, she says. And Wang, smart skip, knowing how difficult it is to use that guard, is going open and will force the Czechs into a decision. Again, going around that guard really isn't a great option right now. What they could do is go around the guard with another guard, just leave it short of the house.
Yeah, absolutely. You would think that if they threw a tight guard around that long center, that it would force China to then peel the top one. So let's see how this works out for the Czech second player.
Looks like they are throwing a second guard. Good call. Very smart, in fact. And I can't imagine China will take any chances. They'll go up and peel the top one. No need to take a risk. Not a lot of ice taken here for this peel. But Yue she can throw the big weight. Good throw.
Já se tady trošku bojím.
Byly ty, co jsme jeli předtím, no.
Čekej!
Oh.
Nebo točit. Navíc jede docela, no.
Well by the guard. Still will be hard pressed to get buried. Trying to get over there. Nicely done. We'll go over to sheet B again for an update. And Andrea Schopp with a draw for 2. And well, you might think this is good. On her first rock, she had a draw to lie 3 and threw it through the rings. And hit and roll out from Latvia left this opportunity for a deuce. So you know she'll have a better feel for draw weight than she did on her first one. But I think even if she does make the deuce,
yeah,
it's a little bit disappointing. But ties it up.
Well, we saw a horrific miss by her in the 6th end to give up a steal of 1, but bouncing back well here with a score of 2 to tie things up in the 7th end. And
there is the first really major error we've seen from the Chinese team in this game, and it's a big one. Yin Liu, the good miss there would have been to wreck on the guard, open things up, but instead she feathered that Czech stone behind the guard. And now a chance for the Czechs, if they can make a freeze right on the nose, they'd not only steal 1 in play now, you could possibly steal 2 here in the 7th end.
yeah, super chance here for the Czech Republic team. Got a really nice line here.
Line's perfect. And Czechs making China pay. This actually really unfortunate break for Czechs. Over curls and leaves a double on the outturn side for China. So instead of this being a great opportunity, that was watch this rock as it comes by. We talked about this a little bit yesterday. You have to make the guards, make it buried, you have to actually miss the guards by a good 6 inches to a foot, and that just got by over curls. And look at those 2 yellows keyed up for a pretty simple double takeout here for China. This would be a huge swing in momentum back in Chinese favor. Yin Liu looking for the double. This has to get by.
This one's going to rub the guard.
Wow.
Just touches the guard. Once again, another miss on that side.
Unusual for this Chinese third. That was her first, sorry, that was Yue who missed the one in the one prior. So regardless, 2 zeros from Team China in a row.
Well, a bit of a let-off there for the Czech Republic. They've got a chance to throw a better guard on this time.
Maybe time for Wang to change gears here, maybe play a slightly more aggressive shot. This guard is over curling, however. Chance to remove certainly one of those yellows. Problem stone right now for China is actually the stone that is second shot that's partially buried behind that corner guard. And as much as they'd like to get rid of one of them, you can see the yellow stone on the right that's in the rings is behind the guard that was just thrown.
So Yin Liu, really the star player so far this week for the Chinese.
This has to get by the guard. Again, tight to the guard. Are they by? They are by. And nice shot there. Gets rid of the problem stone, and you know, we might say the stone closer to the button is a problem if you're watching at home, but in fact it's open, wide open for China to deal with. And I like the guard here. They're looking at coming around the guard to lie too, but I like guarding this situation. Steal a 1 here is important for the Czechs. They don't want to give up any points here.
Well, absolutely. I don't think they can ignore that they've got both sides of the forefoot cut off as well.
There's no draw. You're right. There's no draw available for Wang. So just throw one into the hole there, into the port.
Kdyby jsme byli pak jakoby, jsme přetočili a byli jsme až toho červeného razí double nešel, no, ale byl by zase roll, no. Pořád tam bude ten otevřený prostřed, no. Což mi přijde škoda. Musí být... Kde? No jako v bílém měřit, no.
So Anna Kubeskova called the guard. This is close to over curling already.
Well, Anna's overthrown a couple of stones so far, and this one's coming right down into the forefoot.
Just replaces the stone exactly where it was almost. So chance now for Wang to lie shot stone. Question is, does she want to play some sort of freeze in there? Or does she want to play the exact same shot she asks of her third, Liu? She could play a quiet weight tap back and roll in front of that shot stone.
Well, some blue physio tape getting yanked off Yin Liu's leg.
Big shot here for Wang.
Yeah, I'll just be looking for a hit and stick here.
Love to just get by the guard and roll a little towards the outside if possible. Gonna nose hit it. The challenge for the Czechs is that if they happen to return the favor and nose hit here, they'll leave a double for 3. So she has to make the roll underneath cover. If she can do that, it's going to be a tough shot to score for Wang. Here's a good look at it. It's almost edge to edge, the red guard, excuse me, the red one in the rings and the yellow guard. So you need to throw this quietly in order to get an inside roll, as they're indicating. Just backline weight, maybe. Big shot again. Every shot now, when you're down 3 points without the hammer, risk is required, and she can make the roll to the left on top of her own yellow. Wang's gonna have a very difficult shot. Through the port, a draw to score her single here in 7. Conversely, if she ends up leaving a nose hit, it'll be a relatively simple double for 3.
Well, this shot's no gimme. Full attention required here from the Czech Republic team. Looking good though. Can they get this?
Beautiful looking shot. Beautiful. Will it curl enough? Perfect shot. Really well done.
Well.
Tough shot to score here for Wang. Really tough. Good solid end there from the Czechs. Watch this rock as it just gets by the guard and rolls just underneath, and no angle at all there for China. They're actually have gone to the other turn. They've gone to the out turn. Cold draw to the button is the call, and every time Wang was under pressure in her first matchup against Germany, having to draw the button twice in that game under pressure, she did come through. So you know, she's used to these tight situations, and all of her experience will be required to make this one. Line's fine.
Yeah, don't have to worry about the guards now. They just need to stick it on the T-line.
Just really well judged. Well thrown, well judged from the sweepers, and as Heath Muirhead tweeted earlier this year, Betty's back, I think is fair to say, and a great pressure draw from the Chinese skip.
I'll put one on the board for China, and after 7 ends, it's going to be China 7, Czech Republic 3. If you've just joined us, welcome back to the World Curling Federation Olympic qualification event here in the BLZ Arena in Füssen, Germany. This is the 3rd round of the women's competition and our featured game, China and Czech Republic. And China, the favourites this week for many people, looking strong, Mike.
Very much so. Interesting. I just had a message sent to me again on social media asking why there's actually a competition for these teams as compared to previous years. This is the first time they've had an Olympic qualification event, but the World Curling Federation assigns points to teams at World Championships, and this year what they did is they only gave 8 of those spots at the Olympics to the teams that have had the best results over the last 3 years, and any other team that's participated in a World Championship in the last 3 years was eligible for an entry into this event. So in the women's side, there are 7 teams that have played in the Worlds over the last 3 years, and those countries are competing for the last 2 spots in Sochi. And on the men's side, there were 8 countries in the same boat who did not earn enough points for their respective countries to get into the Olympics directly. So that's what this event is all about. Very, very important event for all of these countries that are here.
Yeah, and a pretty tight matchup at lead. Yanzhou playing 75 against Herdova 70.
Better played game this evening than we witnessed this afternoon, fair to say. And having said that, you know, this Chinese team is so tough, and one reason why they seem to make shots when they need them most. 2009 world champion Bingyu Wang with a critical draw there in the 7th end.
Skoro stejná, ne? Přidávat nemusíš, no. Tak mi řekni.
Well, a good draw there by Chinese lead. Comes down to rest at the top of the button. This one looks like it's going to just rear up a bit short and leaves it another center guard. Not really the right side to err on there. They could have bumped that redstone back. But here's Marianne Roervik throwing final stones for Norway. And
it's like a quintuple raise.
Yeah, really gave that one a bit of hot sauce. And this one's flying down the ice. How's it look?
Oh, unlucky actually. Leaves Japan in there with a steal, and big point there. 3-point lead now for Japan heading into 8.
Well, this is Qing Shuangyue throwing second stones for China in her featured game on Sheet C.
So China changing gears here again, up 4, and it's a mess already here in the 8th end. And Czechs electing to peel. They could play the intern come around, intern freeze here, and try to put some pressure on here, but they've elected to try to figure out a way to make sure they score. What she doesn't want to do is fly by the top guard and remove her own yellow. It's got potential right now to do so. That's just curl enough.
Well, Yue, we just saw there, is comprehensively outplaying.
And that's with a 0 last end as well. You know, they were she had a complete flash on one of her stones.
Yeah, outplaying Svatonova by 80 to 64. Pretty good performance by the Chinese second.
Just so solid. Look at the balance as she comes out. Just there's no waver. Great focus. And I said both, you know, all 4 players here on Team China are equally good, hitting, drawing. They're well coached, combined with good instincts from the skip. So that's why I keep saying they're the favorites here. What was lacking the last number of years, and why the reason they're here, I thought they just were lacking some focus. Burnout, perhaps. This team works so hard, and usually the answer for them when they're struggling is to throw more rocks. get out on the ice for 8 hours a day instead of 6. And in speaking with Marcel Rock, one of his strategies for dealing with the women's team actually was to throw fewer stones.
Yeah, here's Iveta Stasisar-Suna for Latvia. Tied game, tied record. Latvia and Germany on sheet B. And we've said Iveta a little bit stronger on the draws and the takeouts. Doesn't quite manage to make that double takeout, but it looked like a big ask anyway. It's going to be a steal of 1 for Germany in the 8th end, and Andrea Schopp just sticks her nose slightly in front of Latvia.
No lack of momentum change in that matchup. Seems every end there's a big make or a big miss.
看有点挺靠外的哈，他能下就下了，因为劲儿小啊。上没上去就这么了哟。
Now getting late into this end, the Czechs still trying to find a way to get rid of a couple of these guards. And I think Wang is now convinced they're down to thirds final rock. She's going to continue to her aggressive play here, even if the double peel is made. I don't think she's going to let Czechs off the hook quite yet. Throw another guard or another one in the rings.
Well, that looked like a really soft release. Will it make the straight run? It will not, and that's a really poor shot there by Pliskova. 3 center guards protecting that red stone now.
Only guarding half of it though, so Wang does need to make her keep her guard wide, but again, there's another slight discrepancy there at the third. Again, Liu also had a 0 last end. She wrecked on a guard, and so she up the middle. Chinese have kind of taken over the ends in this game. This guard's got a chance of over curling actually. We'll have to watch. They may try to get a little bump off the center line. This will over curl ever so slightly. There it is. So 4 guards, but that shot stone is half open at least. Here's a good look at it from the front. So the Czechs all of a sudden have a chance to get at shot stone with a miss.
Yeah, and we've seen a heap of curl on this side of the sheet, so shouldn't be any problem.
If she just gets by the guard, she may even be able to roll inside.
Oh, this is coming down nicely here.
Good looking shot. Still dead on the nose. Good touch. Wang's got to be a little careful. That red stone did hang around at the back 12, so she has to be aware not to hit that just off center and drive it back onto her own red stone at the back of the rings. But by rolling open, she will leave the Czechs an opportunity to use those center guards to try to generate a deuce here in 8. A good look at it there. If you actually had to try to steal one here, you could hit that on the nose and roll slightly under, but there's no need to take a risk like that for Wang. She can hit 2/3 of a stone on the broom side and roll open.
Yeah, just need to be a little bit aware of that red stone on the back line, just to steer the yellow shot stone past it. So just a quiet wait here for Bingyue Wang.
Clean release.
Well, looking pretty good here.
Staying on it to avoid the jam.
Okay.
Well done. Perfect. Czechs are going to play the hit and roll. Little surprising they're playing the hit. Some more discrepancy there with the skips. 14% difference, so at all 4 positions, Czechs being out curled. 50% on draws. One, and the big one there, you see that second two over Kabeskova's right shoulder. The big difference in this game. A missed draw, heavy.
Yeah, well, it's a 4-shot game, and that's a 3-shot swing.
It's 3 of them right there.
Right at that very moment.
There's a great shot from Anna. Wonderful hit and roll. Dead buried behind those 4 guards.
Yeah, China are going to have a really tough job getting at that one.
Well, not a lot of choice here for Wang. She just needs to play the freeze on the center line side. And even if she's not shot, will certainly tighten the scoring area for the Czechs. But great shot there from Anna Kabeskova.
你发点是这个点，发点就要这个，这样发点来就行。
So perfect world here for China. They come right to the face of that yellow stone, slightly keyed up on the center line side. Theoretically could get shot stone, I suppose, but the real key here for her here is just to make the shot for 2 very, very difficult. So again, my Chinese isn't what it used to be, Logan, but make the freeze first, and if the line's good, we'll sweep it, I think was what she was saying to her team. T-line first, and Wang made a great draw last end to the T-line. Expect her to be close for weight.
Well, certainly looking pretty good here. Maybe just over curling fraction.
Line's good. How good is that? Wow. Perfect shot from the Chinese skip. And I say the skip, but the sweepers deserve a lot of credit there.
Oh my, oh my.
And look at the Chinese front end. Zhu and Yue. Perfect judge. Corner frozen, shot stone, buried.
Did you enjoy that shot, Mike?
I did. Well, you know, it's just a pleasure watching shots made, called and made, and you know, it's wonderful, wonderful curling.
Well, we didn't get the privilege of that too much this afternoon, so
no.
I'll forgive you in this one.
I get excited for any made shots, Logan. But you look at Kabeskova, I think she's making the wise choice here. No way to score on that, on the draw. So this is an angle race for 2 points, and this will be the ball game one way or the other. If she makes it, get right back in it. 7-5, playing the 9th end, and if she misses it, it wouldn't surprise me to see handshakes.
Well, you know what, Mike, looking at it there's so much curl on that left-hand side of the picture as we look at it. I think you could just about get to the nose and bump it off the yellow and still hang around to score
almost,
2.
Yeah, almost.
But I don't know how much different the difficulty rating would be in comparison to this.
Yeah, I think 6 one, half dozen the other. They're both equally difficult.
So here's Anna Kabeskova playing a kind of controlled takeout here, trying to half this one onto the stone at the forefoot.
This needs to curl. It will not.
Well,
and a steal of 1 here for China in 8.
Yep, nothing but air for Anna Kabeskova, and it's a steal. And now China taking an 8 shots to 3 lead over the Czech Republic after 8 ends.
Great shot there from Wang.
Well, I think that would be enough for a lot of teams, but 8 ends played, China 8, Czech Republic 3.
现在 OK 啊，只是力量6区
5、6
，OK 6。
Well, 9th end here, featured game China and the Czech Republic. A steal in the 8th end after a phenomenal final stone by Bing Wang. When it very much looked like Czech Republic were going to score 2, Mike.
Absolutely, and you know, a great freeze, or excuse me, a great draw in 7 as well from Wang. So you know, it was a team shot. The sweepers put it in the exact right position. It skipped through it where she needed to, but the sweepers certainly deserve a lot of credit on those. And I said, put the stranglehold on this game now for the Chinese, and I don't anticipate we'll see 4 center guards left in play here by Bing Wang.
Well,
she'll either bring this one into the rings or throw it through, perhaps.
Yeah,
being up 5.
I was going to say, Mike, I was surprised at all to see China throwing anything into play with lead stones.
Yeah, I mean, I think as long as you can keep it in front of the T-line. And we've seen the first 2 matches, Zhu's had great control with her draw weight, so top 4 is fine. Again, team decision. I think a lot of 5 up. Usually a lot of the top competitive men seems to be throwing it through the rings at this stage, but what it does, it kind of takes away a path for playing peels. So with your own stone in the rings now, they cannot play the outside in peel. They need to, you know, peel from the center line out, which is slightly more difficult.
Well, also, Mike, we saw in the Roar of the Rings last week in the 9th end, Glenn Howard getting his fingers burnt playing against Kevin Martin, throwing 2 perfect lead stones, and any piece of stone in play is
good for Czechs.
It's a stone that can be used by the team chasing the game. So this one's just not quite going to crawl over, and Pliskova boots that one away.
And now, I'm sure Wang wishes her rock was not in the 4-foot, as you alluded to, forcing her to play the inside out. But you know, again, going to the evolution of the game, this inside out peel is a shot that years ago teams didn't really need. This is now a normal peel situation here for these teams. Practice this shot all the time, and shot going to roll into the rings, perhaps. Again, not a horrible result, but certainly still not what China was hoping for.
Yeah, that could be used as a guard for the Czech Republic. Here's Mariana Rurvik.
And this is a live update from Sheet A, and look at that redstone in the pocket, just thrown there by the Japanese skip. Ogasawara, perfect freeze, and now Rorvik has to draw the side of the button right to the pin for her single here. Down 3 already. Cannot afford a miss if she wants to win this one.
Yeah, not a lot of land to work with here for Mariana Rurvik. Needs a piece of the white bit.
Line's decent. Look at this.
Super shot here by Mariana Rurvik.
Great shot.
Right onto the 1-foot circle, and it's a score of 1 for Norway. I bet Japan thought they had that one wrapped up. Mariana Rurvik extending that game on Sheet A in draw 3 here. And the scoreline now, Japan 7, Norway 5.
Back on our sheet, there's a missed peel from Team China, so Czechs are going to get a chance to score a couple here. They really need 3 at least, though, to have a reasonable chance in the last.
Well, they've now got 2 corner guards, so no reason why not. If they make all their shots here, then it could well be putting a multiple score on the board.
That's a good start. Going around the corner, well done.
Yeah, nice draw here by Klara Svatonova. Well, it's Yin Liu who's Going to try and tidy this one up after a couple of misses by Yue. Well, peels one and promotes another.
Leaves another corner guard. The Czechs can go around that one. It's worth going around it. I think they have to if they want to score 3 here. Theory is you go around the corner guard on the left. China hits the one on the right. You go around the corner guard again and get 2 buried. And hope for a half a miss from the Chinese.
Well, Pliškova's drawing's been pretty exceptional so far in this game. Having to go hard on this one for line.
Looks perfect. The line's good. Will it stop? Wonderful shot. Wow, perfect.
Yeah, and plenty of room for another one.
Control 的力量。擦一擦。往右 ，control。hard。右。yes。hard。
So as you said, Mike, China hitting the wide one, and
I think the right call here for the Czechs is to go around that corner guard again. That is, they want to score 3. It's going to force a decision from Team China by hitting the one in the rings that's open. I think the best they're going to do is get a deuce here, unless they get a complete miss from China. 2 is not enough.
Well, go for a takeout on this back one, it looks like. Maybe they could hit and roll underneath the shot stone.
Yeah, they could possibly roll behind the Chinese zone top 4, you're right. Definitely want to stay. Rolling out is definitely 3's out of the picture now. China will go up and run that red back or try to roll it into the rings. Betty's proving me wrong. She's actually called the freeze as we watch this rock roll too far. So Wang has asked for the come around behind the red corner guard, and I think that's got to make the Czechs pretty happy. Even if it's made perfectly, they could play a double off that outside red on the left-hand side as we're looking at it and lie 2 buried. I think if you look at the scoreboard, you're up 5. Just go up and peel that corner guard away. Most you give up is a 2. That should be the game.
Well, after the last end, why would anyone stop Betty Wang throwing a draw here?
Well, and again, she's had perfect control of draw weight the entire game. She has not. Can't really think of one she's missed. The sweepers are well in control of what's going on.
I've got to say the line's looking pretty good. How's the weight?
Not light, I would say.
Well, this is a bad miss here.
Yeah, first miss of the game, and again, no need to take that kind of risk.
Well, it's got to be that draw around the corner guard again here.
Yeah, the other alternative for the Czechs is to actually hit shots on a roll way under, but the draw is easier to get around the corner guard. Not sure by that ice if she's playing the hit or the draw. I didn't see the indication.
No, me neither. Could well be either shot.
We'll let you know if she releases it.
Yeah, I think maybe we could maybe even decide before that. When she kicks out of the hack, we'll have a good idea.
Is the draw, I like it.
Yeah, line looking pretty good here. How's the weight?
Not bad.
Cannot bounce off this yellow.
Still pretty good. I think it does the trick. It's probably 2/3 open. I think Marcel Rock could be going a little bit crazy right now up there behind the bench. Just wondering how did this happen, he thinks. Now having to play a corner freeze up 5 playing the 9th end. So pressure shot here from Wang. She needs to get in front of this stone. I think she'd be happy even if she got second shot, leaving the Czechs an open hit for 2. But all of this could have been avoided if she simply played a peel on her first one on that red tight guard. She would have been happy with 2. 3 up coming home with last rock is almost insurmountable, I'd say. 2 up, different story, however. And not to mention the momentum switch, giving up 3 and 9. This looks warm as well. Not going to curl enough.
Yeah, they've got pretty good line here. Even if they just lay 2, it would make things difficult.
That may have left a double for 3, a big weight double, however, but I think it might be there to hit, you know, 2/3 of a rock with heavy weight and possibly end up scoring 3. And what a turn of events here.
Well, I think when this Yellowstone comes off the red, the rotation on the stones might just kick it underneath those Yellowstones.
I think it does easily, actually, as long as she hits it. The question is, can she throw it hard enough? Is the big question. It should easily get pushed underneath that those 2 yellows. 93% on her 7 hits so far today, so it's a good sign. Outturn, big weight. Little hot sauce, as you say. I like that.
Yeah, that's one from my team. That's looking pretty close.
This is really close. And there it is.
Oh, super
big
shot here.
3 points here in 9. What a turnaround.
Yeah, Anna Kubeshkova.
Stunning 3 points.
Yeah, not finished yet here. And this one's going to go right down to the 10th end. China 8, Czech Republic 6.
Tak, Terka jako už si prosadila ten žef. Já si vyjela nejdřív dovnitř a že se pak hodila na košty. Jako no, už nevím, co úplně dělá, takže jsem to vzala hned.
So ready to get this 10th end underway in our featured game of women's draw 3 here at the World Curling Federation Olympic qualification. And China leading by 8 shots to 6, but making life a little bit difficult for themselves, Mike Harris.
Definitely, and surprising. You know, and if you're China, you have to wonder how did that happen, and it just, you know, kind of really basic errors in that. Strategic error wasn't a really. I mean, she missed. Wang missed her first draw, yes, but just the strategy is what caught her out. If she just said just go up and peel that corner guard, the worst she would have done is give up 2 points there in 9, which would have been perfectly acceptable. 3 up with the hammer coming home. Steal of 2 is still not likely, but it's certainly possible. We've seen 1 already in this game. Tick shot being called for here. Trying to move this stone over. Not remove it from play. That stone cannot touch the side bumper, and that is perfect. Interesting, we saw the Japanese team make a couple of those this afternoon in their game, and they played that shot across the face. Japan choosing to hit that on the broom side, hitting it high and make it. The key, though, for both teams, the success with the lead is throwing it just with backline weight, and don't overthrow that rock. And that is a shot that can win a game early here. In the 10th end for some teams. You know, the lead stones can certainly make the difference. Very high guard here again. But Wang will try the tick shot again.
Well, actually quite a good position to leave it high in the free guard zone. Just makes it that more difficult to peel should this tick shot be missed.
Playing the other turn this time. This looks good too. Two fantastic shots.
Wow.
Yanshu could not have drawn those up any better. And life is much simpler here now for Team China here in the 10th, much as we saw Team Japan here this afternoon. Marcel's documenting the 9th end, I think, right now in his head with his coach.
Well, they certainly look like they're sitting a little more easily than they were just 5 minutes ago. Still work to be done here, though. Cheng-Xuan-Yue missed a couple of peels in the last end, so there is a little bit of shrapnel around the outside that needs to be avoided. So here is Cheng-Xuan-Yue, the Chinese second player. Just kind of lost her way in the 9th end after a good first 8. And does a good job of getting the guard off this time.
Well done.
Here's Svatonova throwing up this long guard once more.
As you mentioned, Logan, the problem, it's not a big problem for China, but those rocks are on the wings. You have to be mindful of them. So Wang is going to peel away from those 2 that are on the left-hand side as we're looking at it, and have her shoot a roll out of play. Just need to be aware. This could proved to be problematic. Not a lot of ice taken here. This is the straighter path, though, as we've seen this game. That was popped wide at release. This needs to curl.
Well, let's try it.
Okay.
Never a doubt. And watch the shooter. Okay. Left the corner guard, but that was a little nervy for Wang there for a while.
So my Czech Republic trailing by 2 here. At what point do they choose to try and go round with these stones on the outside?
I think this has to be the last guard. The way to steal 2 now is to try to get 2 buried somehow and hope for a miss on Wang's last. So assuming this peel is made, I think they'd be forced to go around the double corner guard on the right side as we're looking at. Get 1 buried in there. Wang will peel 1 of them off. You get another one in there, and then hope she misses the rings. Really is what her only chance. She's not going to flash a hit here. This level. Well done. So I think they need to go around one of the guards here with one of the 2. She's going around the one on the right-hand side, which is fine. Either or. Both pretty tough.
Tady přijde, že se dá líp skovat.
Jo. Je zase dál od kruhu, jo, ale jestli jo, tak jo, klidně. Jo.
Either or. Team likes the other one.
Yeah. There's not too much difference. They're both extremely hard to get around once, never mind twice.
A little more room on this side that they're actually playing for 2 stones in there, but the best they can do is half in the 12-foot or full 12.
Vůbec na to nesahej. Strašně velký.
6, 8, 9.
Needs to curl a bit.
Jestli můžeš, tak jo.
If it stops, they can sweep it. It looks like it's going to be pretty. There it goes. Just walking over sideways now. Perfect. Really well done.
That really came down hard at the end.
Wang's thinking. I think if she draws here, Marcel might have a minor coronary. I'll have a look at Marcel Rock behind the bench, see what he's got to say here. They are playing the freeze. Just asking for trouble, in my opinion. I'd like to be a fly on the wall for the debriefing after this one.
Well, I think that if they are throwing a draw here, it might be better just throw one open.
Just throw it right on the button. Right, absolutely. Having said that, the freeze is made perfectly. Now it needs to curl a bit more. It does come over at the end, but certainly a possibility for the Czechs to get by that guard tightly and roll and lie 2 buried. There's room. It's a very tough shot, but it's definitely available. And I hate to say it, if they make it, and Wang plays the freeze again, there's a chance to lie 3 buried. Again, if they'd gone up, peeled that red guard that's in the way, the one tighter to the center line on the left-hand side, it would have exposed shot stone back 12-foot, and again, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. So this is a tough shot. She has to get across the face of the red stone and roll to the left as we're looking at it. Not an easy shot, but certainly when you're down 2 without the hammer, you're happy to have the opportunity.
Yep, big line. Yep. Yep. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yep. Whoa.
She's close. Really close for line.
Just needs to work a little bit.
There it goes. What a beauty in terms of line. Is it going to move it far enough? Does not. Unfortunate for the Czechs.
Well, it's still
A little disappointed, but
still frees that redstone up at least. And
yeah, there's a chance. There's still a chance. We'll update sheet A. Norway, Japan. This is a hit for 2.
yeah, Gasawara already leading her Japanese side by 7 shots to 5 over Norway. And lots of cleaning going on right now. Hits it right on the nose. Score of 2 and a 4-shot lead for Japan after 9 ends. Japan 9, Norway 5.
So Wang's elected to split the rings here. She's going wide to the left side. She could play the same freeze, in fact, and make the double much more difficult for the Czechs. But again, having great control of draw weight entire game. She wants this behind the tee line. In a perfect world, back 8 foot, leaving no double for the Czechs. Tougher shot than she was hoping to have here, though, in the 10th end after being 5 up through 8. Sweepers on this early.
Well,
certainly want to lie 2, worst case.
Yeah, even just top 8's not terrible here. Don't want to leave a half-stone double, though.
That's fine. There is a double, though, to lie 3. Certainly. Tough one. Similar to the double she needed last end, though. Same type of angle. Same type of hot sauce.
Yeah, you're definitely going to take that.
I'm using that. I'm going to use that for sure. So if she can make this double and lie 3, it'll force Wang into a decision. Wang's had great control of draw weight this entire game. Would she have the nerve to draw against 3 here in 10 if this shot is made? I'd like to think she would, but it also brings the opportunity to perhaps lose the game here as well. But this, they need to go for line on this double.
Oh, this one's over curled, Mike. It's going to just stick on the nose, and that will be game over. There's no need to really even throw this stone, I don't think.
I'm not sure why she's throwing it. Why don't they just shake hands? I don't want to be a naysayer at all, but if she actually hits half a stone on the centerline side, rolls over and takes her own out, she could actually give up a steal of 2 here. The fact that Wang's actually throwing this is really surprising. Marcel Rock's actually standing up behind the bench here, and he's being fairly animated talking to the Czech coach.
Oh, I don't think there'll be any problems here anyway.
Why throw it, though? Half stone. She's going to make it, but...
yeah, no problem here.
Threw it quiet enough.
Well,
2 points here for China.
Yep, and it's going to be a final score of China 10, Czech Republic 6.
2。这是谁的？
不是，Kde？这是 Stella。这是 Stella。
就打的真有那个3分那样的。
Gör det på första ägg. Ja,
Here's some bonus coverage. We're going to go over and finish the Germany-Latvia game over on sheet B. And see that blank in the 10th end. Andrea Schopp had an open hit to win the game and hit and rolled out. So happy extra end here for the Latvians. They've got a center guard in play. There's a couple rocks in the 4-foot area, or one rock in the 4-foot anyway, and certainly have a better chance of stealing than they did in 10. So the freeze being called here from Yeva Justa, and well done around that guard. And although Germany is shot stone, there's still 5 rocks to come here in the extra. Decision time here for Andrea Schopp, and Imogen Una Lehmann has come down to ponder the situation. That red stone top 12-foot actually is a guard. And the Latvians can go around it on the out-turn side, on the right-hand side is looking at to get shot stone. So a little thinking required here from Andrea Schopp. They've actually called a timeout. Rainer Schopp on his way out to discuss. Making the long stroll down to the far end. Here he comes.
Braucht die Guard jetzt nicht mal abspielen, Rainer. Wenn sie mir den jetzt tappt, habe ich ein Riesenproblem.
Was war denn deine Idee?
Die Guard. Aber
Ja, eben. Also ja.
also die Guard, denke ich. Ja, dann liege ich so, dann brauchst du nur noch irgendwie danach spielen. Ja, selbst wenn wir Nase haben. Der hilft mir ja nichts, wie man gesehen hat. Dann spielen wir den ab, okay.
Jetzt erstmal nach.
I think Reiner suggested to peel the guard, and the concern for Andrea was that the Latvians come down, hit that yellow stone, and lie 4. Having said that, even if she makes, so she's going to nose hit here and try to lie 2. She's going to hit the one on the right-hand side as we're looking at it, and have lie 2 stones. So we get down to Skip's rocks. I'm sure the Latvians, conversely, are a little bit relieved that they have a couple of center guards to work with here. Does hit and lie 2. That was the call. Double is available here for the Latvians. Iveta Stasa Sarsune. We've alluded to the fact a couple of times that a little bit stronger with the draws than she is with the hits, but if she can make this double, she will lie, it looks like 2, the one at the top 12-foot. Maybe out counting the one at the back of the 4-foot, but importantly, we'll have 3 rocks along the center line that can be used as guards, something that come around later perhaps. I'm thinking she called a double. She might be playing a quiet weight tap back on the one on center line as well. .66% through the 10 ends. It is in fact a quiet weight tap on the stone in the forefoot. I quite like this call, in fact. Looks really close. Beautiful shot. Nerves of steel there on the sweeping call. Just got by that stone at the top of the rings. Only lies one, but it does open up a path into the forefoot area for her on her last. So the question is, if Andrea Schupp does make the hit and stay here, will she ignore the yellow stones and go wide around on the outturn side to score, try to steal one? Or will she play the double? Also at 66, tie game seems fitting. Both skips, same percentage. That's well done as also. So I think good opportunity here now for the Latvians to try to play a draw into the forefoot area, whether they go in turn or out turn. Certainly up to them. But that rock at the top 12 foot is a guard. You can get this stone dead buried, almost full forefoot, and really force a very difficult shot out of the Germans to win this game. So you can see where she's tapping her broom right there is perfect. And as I've mentioned, worked with this team last year, and Iveta really has good control of her draw weight as a general statement. Good strong sweepers. Una and Zanda on the front end, lead in second. Zanda especially is one of the strongest sweepers I've tested in Champery. Expect this to be close. Needs the 8 foot, line's perfect. Will it get there? Does not. Perfect line, but the sweepers just couldn't get it there, and Andrea Schupp escapes with a steal. Escapes the steal, excuse me, takes her single point here in the extra end, and it would have been a tough loss for the Germans had they missed that opportunity after blanking the 10th end. You see the disappointment there in the Latvian skip's face.
Was ist der mit der Unterschrift?
Well, after trailing 6-1 at the break, the Czechs came back with the deuce in the 6th end and finally put some pressure on China here in the 7th end. Bingyu Wang with a difficult draw to the forefoot under pressure. And her sweepers make no mistake here, and 2009 world champion takes a 7-3 lead into the 8th end. And after a steal of 1 in 8, all of a sudden got into some trouble here, China did, and leaving the Czech skip. Anna Kubeskova, a double for 3. Difficult shot, she makes it perfectly. And all of a sudden was back in this game as we go into 10th end. But as we saw against in some of our other games this week, 2 perfect tick shots were made, and simple last rock here thrown for Bingyu Wang to put this game away. And a well-earned, well-deserved 10-6 victory for Team China here in this 3rd round matchup at the Olympic qualification event in Füssen, Germany. And there's the final.
Betty, how did you feel about your performance today?
I think today we play much better than yesterday, and the Czech Republic still have the chance to get back. And I think we have some of the problem with the control of the game. We really need to focus on that. But I think today everybody real relaxed and comfortable with the eyes, the curl. I think it's better than yesterday. Yeah.
Is there anything in particular that you changed from last night's game?
No, not real. We just want to play more offense there, but we don't need that. We don't need to do that too much because we 5 points up, so it's okay.
Are you feeling confident to qualify for the Olympics?
Sure, come here is watch for that and try everything. Yeah.
Congratulations on the great start.
And there's a wrap up the other scores. Japan with a convincing win over Norway, 9-5, and Latvia almost escaped with the victory, but Germany held on in the extra to win that one 8-7.
So let's see how those scores reflect in the standings after 3 draws here in the women's qualifiers for the Olympics. And there we have China and Japan, the 2 teams left undefeated on 2 wins. Both had their bye already. Germany up alongside them on 2 wins and 1 loss. And then all these other teams on 2 losses with some work to do already this week. Very short round robin, just 6 games for each of these 7 teams. And you would think they wouldn't be able to lose too many more than 2 games, with only 3 going through to the qualifying games. And that's it from the BLZ Arena here in Füssen, Germany. Draw 3 of the women's competition from myself, Logan Gray, and Mike Harris. Thanks for watching, and join us for more tomorrow.